For the literacy-based ELD lesson, we are using brown bear, what do you see? The connection between the Spanish literacy and English literacy is the theme of color words, which for some kindergarten and beginning first graders are some of the sight words students are expected to learn. Some of the animal characters are also found in both texts, and both have the same format of the question-answer response. In No me asustó a mí, they say, ¿Y qué cosa vi? Un dinosaurio rosado sentado allí. In Brown Bear, we have, What do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. The intonation and format of the Spanish text helps students understand there is a question and response in the English text as well. When working with students in their second language, it is important to create a core set of known words in a meaningful context to be able to move from the logographic stage to the alphabetic and orthographic stage. Through the logographic experience, students learn words by whole visual print, and teachers should provide many activities within the logographic stage so that students can begin to produce the language of the text orally. After several readings, the teacher can then move children into shared and collaborative activities. The text can be introduced by a lata method, or by the teacher modeling a few days as children begin to pick up the patterns of the text. The text should be read and put on a document camera or written on a chart with pictures to support the objects and the colors in the text. As the teacher reads the text, he or she should point to the words so that students begin to match the print. After several modeled readings, students can move to shared and collaborative activities. One shared activity is to have students take turns coming up and pointing to the words in each verse. The oral reading and the one-to-one match will begin the memorization of the high-frequency words in the text. For a variation, each line can be written on a sentence strip along with the picture of the animal being addressed. The sentence strips are handed out to pairs or individual students. In the order of the text, the teacher invites them to come up and place their line of text on the chart and point and read it. Except for Brown Bear, each animal will be addressed in the question and in the response sentence, and students will have to determine which sentence comes first by focusing on the beginning word or words in the sentence. Once students have read the text together enough times, they can work collaboratively by going back to their tables and in pairs. Together, they work on a set of cut-up sentences using the picture clues. The teacher can have them put the sentence together and point and read the sentences to each other, and the teacher will be walking around supporting and monitoring the activity. This activity can then be expanded to moving from the original text to personalizing the text. The students are asked to draw a picture of something they might see and choose a color they want that object or character to be. Once students have drawn and colored their picture, the teacher provides these sentence frames in the pocket chart. Blank, blank, what do you see? I see blank looking at me. The teacher then puts in the chart one of the students' names. The whole class reads it aloud as the teacher points to the first sentence with the student's name. Maria, Maria, what do you see? That student comes up with their picture and places it in the second sentence. That student points and reads, using their picture to fill in the blank. I see a green turtle looking at me. The whole class can join as the student points and reads. Students are practicing the pattern and applying it to something personal using their names, while learning words as a whole within a meaningful context. To reinforce the teaching of high-frequency words and sight words, The students must experience these words orally, visually, and in writing. For this activity, a theme must be selected for writing, such as favorite foods, games, or holidays. The teacher begins by generating language from the students. As the students begin to come up with these ideas, the teacher writes them on a chart, supported by simple drawings to bring meaning to the words. The teacher reviews the color words they have been working with in Brown Bear. These charts will help guide the students when they begin to create their own writing. On the title page, the student will put their name in the title and write their name as the author. If the theme of Halloween is used, for example, students could draw a picture on the title page. Then on the following pages, students copy the sentence frames. Blank, blank, what do you see? Writing their name on the first page. Students draw what they have selected and write in the article, the color, and the object to complete the page. I see a black cat looking at me. This can lead to a mini lesson on when to use a or an as an article. Once students have worked with the text orally, visually, and in writing, they can begin to move to the alphabetic stage. Using words from the text, students can begin to categorize and classify words in different ways. In this activity, words with the same beginning letters and sounds can be used. Once they have used words from the text, such as the ones listed in black on the slide, students can begin to add other known words that fit into each category from previous experiences, such as the words written in red. This activity can be done with a focus on ending sounds or blends. The teacher should lead this activity in order to help students hear the sounds and make connections. The concept of hearing sounds across words is being taught in Spanish, so you may have students using this method with English words. The teacher can support this by explicitly teaching similarities and differences between Spanish and English, while continually monitoring and clarifying for understanding. These generated lists can be written on charts to be put up on the wall, and these charts can provide guidance to students when they need to problem solve on new words in their reading and writing. The orthographic stage provides opportunities for students to work with word parts and patterns in words. In Brown Bear, power words are selected to help generate new words or introduce patterns in words. The word at is not only a high-frequency word, but it is also good for generating words through onset and rhyme. It helps students learn to say the short vowel a, which is not a sound used in the Spanish language. The generation of new words with the at pattern must be followed up by finding them in text and using them in writing to reinforce the meaning. The words me and see from the Brown Bear text represent long E sound and provide students with two ways to decode and write this sound. Pictures using these sounds in meaningful context can help students not only see the patterns but help students in using these words and patterns in reading and writing. Onset and rhyme is a common methodology used in English in analyzing and generating words. It consists of two parts of a word. One is the onset, which is a consonant or consonant cluster that precedes the vowel of the syllable or word. The second part is called rhyme, which is a part of the syllable or word that consists of the vowel and any consonants, sounds that come after it. Onset and rhyme word families are very useful because once a student grasps the word, it can be used to generate other words. This often helps both reading and writing skills. Many games and activities can be created. When working with a second language, teachers must make sure that meaning is provided through pictures or context. In working with these patterns, teachers can begin with rhymes that are words students know through reading and writing. They must be encountered or put back in context to make sure students are not only dealing with the parts, but more importantly, with what they mean. This onset and rhyme lends itself to hearing the rhyme. This makes it a great oral activity with the song. Students can have the word cat and have someone come up and act out a word that rhymes with cat. As teachers look for new text to use with students, the vocabulary may become more complex. This creates opportunities to select words from these texts to teach students to look for meaningful chunks in the words. And when decoding new words, students need to be able to move from hearing sounds across words to being able to analyze a new word by asking themselves, what do I know about this word? Or what part of this word do I know? This activity was previously introduced in Spanish, finding a word and then a hidden word to form a new word. This activity can be done using words students know and can analyze in English using the same activity. As students see and hear these new words, practicing them orally in songs and poems helps students understand these patterns. This activity is sung to the tune of Muffin Man. After working on words with onset and rhyme, the teacher can move to this activity. It is modeled, and then students can work in pairs, selecting words that rhyme and putting them into the context of the song. Then, all students sing together using the new pair of rhyming words. English has many word patterns that have silent letters which support the pronunciation of the vowel in the words. For example, in this chart, the words right, fight, and bright become a long vowel sound because of the GH pattern. The idea is that children will learn the visual pattern, so this will give a clue about how to pronounce a vowel in the word. Besides that, many of these words are high-frequency words that can be found in many texts. We must first make sure these words are introduced in context to have students practice them orally for pronunciation and meaning. As they experience these words, charts can be created to reinforce these patterns.